Hello and good evening, Divine Feminines, and welcome to my reading for the Divine Masculine in this Twin Flame connection. Um, this is a time period, guys, from the 1st of January to the 15th of January of 2020 that I've taken for myself. But again, time is fluid, energies are interchangeable. But people who have been following me with this reading and this twin flame connection, they know that I'm tapping into a particular group of twin flames. So if you're one of them, please welcome into this reading, guys, okay? Now, having said this, I wanted to do a thorough check, with regards to this entire journey from the 1st to the 15th. Basically starting off from here and ending over there. The changes, the flow of the energies, the way it is going through within this time period. We are going to do a check in the way our spirit is going to guide us, people. Okay? So having said that, the Akashic karmic that I have for the Divine Masculine in this twin flame connection, people, is initiation and the count of Saint Germain or Germain and Atzim in the reverse. Okay, now both are major arcanas in here. So what it is basically is this person, the Divine Masculine, had been too busy, too stressed out, emotionally disconnected from his own self with regards to a lot of problems in his own life that he had been taking part in and participating, too busy to look after his own need, to be with his own self. He was not being able to do all that, but within this time period, guys, he's moving up the ladder, which is he's moving into the higher power, the higher authority. He's collecting his self, he's collecting his wisdom, he's getting in touch with his emotion, with his want, with his desire. He's basically bringing back a power, the higher authority within himself that he had lost somewhere previously when he had been too busy being emotionally disconnected with people in general, or emotionally disconnected even with himself. Okay, so basically he is working on his own strength of bringing back his own stuff, and that is what he is looking into objectively for himself during this period. Okay, now at this moment he's kind of concentrating on his own self, which is why he's not at the moment looking at any adjacent possibilities of opening the door right away within this time frame. Okay, but what he's doing is he's nurturing his heart, guys. Okay, he's nurturing his heart, his love, his belief, his emotion. He's trying to work with his emotion at this point in time, because somewhere his emotions had kept him really in a tight spot. He had lost his emotional contact, and not only with you or in this twin flame connection, but even with himself. And which is what he's looking at by really resting and rejuvenating his own spiritual self, guys. Okay, so he's taking time to understand what he needs to bring back within his own self during this time, because without which he will not be able to move in the right direction. So he's basically giving time to himself from all that being busy and stressed out and too much of work and stuff like that, which had taken away his emotions, drained him of his emotions from within himself, which at this point in time he's trying to recapture and bring it back all within himself. And the way he's traveling with this is, he's crossing the bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. He's crossing those stressful period. He's crossing that being burnt out period. He's crossing those loss of emotions. He's taking his time for healing. He's coming to a point where he can heal, find peace, reconnecting or connecting with himself, mending his ways and releasing all that negativity that he had been holding in order to reach the gates of triumph, which is success. Success expands in your life. Okay, so he's moving up the ladder, like I said. He's walking into the gates of triumph towards the success story for himself first, because he has realized, people, divine feminine more so, that all that up and down, all that story, all that negativity, the toxicity, the bad stuff was more so because he had been holding things within himself. So now he's trying to push those away. He's trying to mend his ways. He's trying to relieve himself of that. He's trying to bring back his higher authority. He's trying to visualize himself in a different way, because he's getting back that emotions in his heart, which is letting him know that he can do it. He can actually make this thing work. Okay, now having said this, guys, let me tell you the way I have laid out this card this time. I think I have done this kind of a reading before as well, and I'm redoing this kind of a spread. Is we have a root card here, and then we have the clarifiers. Now, the root card is what the spirit, or what it is the spirit is telling you. And the clarifier is your conversation, or my conversation with my spirit with regards to the root card. Okay, so that is how I'm looking into this reading for the divine masculine in this twin flame connection. Okay, now we'll start off with the first thing here, which is the third eye chakra in the reverse. Okay, and I'm going to read reversals here because I want to see the correct picture right away. Now, with the third eye being in the reverse, guys, it means that he's taking his time to open up his vision, because he had blocked his third eye chakra. That has been closed for quite a while, and it is still closed in the beginning of January. So basically, this is where he is at this point in time. With his third eye chakra closed, he's not getting hold of the right direction for himself. He's not getting that strength to open his third eye chakra. Okay, now what comes up in here, or what shows up in here after this, is the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, so which is telling me that our communication with our spirit, with my spirit, is, they are telling me that yes, it is closed at this point in time for sure, but very soon that will be opened. Okay, and it will be opened because he will be opening his intuition. He will be making that offer with this Knight of Pentacles to himself, with his emotions, with his strength, with his courage, with his determination, with whatever he is looking for at this point in time in his life, guys. Okay, it's basically an offer to himself, for himself, to the universe, to bring back everything that he possibly wants in his life. So that will happen the moment the third eye chakra opens up, because from here he knows that his karma, the judgment in the reverse, is what he needs to change now. Okay, and he is waiting for the universe. He is waiting for that direction. He is waiting for the third eye chakra to help him open his strength, his resources. That in turn is going to change his karma, which is what he wants with this love story in the twin flame connection. It is now in the reverse because, what it is, guys, is he knows that until he can open the third eye chakra and open up his emotions, he will not be able to rectify this area of his life. Okay, so he needs to first get that strength in himself, figure out his own direction in life. Okay, because he had done things wrong and he knows about that and he needs to correct it. So, this is the stage of correction. The moment the third eye chakra opens up, which is where, he will be able to bring back his emotional fulfillment very early in life, the Page of Cups. Okay, it is very early, a small offer, but something that he is getting prepared for the moment he is able to visualize a direction in his life. For this emotional fulfillment, there are two offers. Look here. One is with the Page of Pentacle, and one is with the Page of Cups. Okay, so basically, he's waiting for this. He's also waiting for this. He's waiting for his vision to open up where he can see the landscape, where he will be able to understand which direction he needs to move into, what he needs to do for this twin flame connection, where he should walk into, how he should walk into, in order for him to change his karma, to change this love story, to make that offer with the Page of Cups, that is not only going to surprise him, but it's an emotional offer. It's an offer that he is waiting to give you once he can fathom the direction of his movement. And this is something he's waiting for it to happen. The Seven of Wands in the reverse. He's trying to find a balance, a footing in his life. He's trying to find his stability, guys, okay? Because without that third eye chakra opening up, he will not be able to move in the right direction. And that is what the universe is asking him to wait upon for this to happen. And once that happens, he will be able to come to terms with the offer, with the emotional offer from the Page of Cups. But he has to wait. He is waiting for that stability of the Seven of Wands to get hold of that strength in himself, to find his foot in the right direction, to know that he has a ground to stand upon from where he can take this journey forward. Okay, so this is all starting to happen from the 1st of January. After which we come into this place where there is success and growth from the Spirit. Okay, so Spirit is telling him that once he's able to find his footing, once he's able to see where he stands in his own life, within himself, success and growth is going to come into his life. Okay, and this is something that is a spiritual growth. It's a spiritual wisdom. It's a spiritual stuff that is going to bring him his success and growth, which will help him in turn to make that change from the Five of Pentacles. Feeling of being left out in the cold for both of you guys, for the Divine Masculine as well as for the Divine Feminine. Feeling very spiritually poor in this relationship, which is what that needs to change and which he can do once he finds that stability and that balance within his own self. Now, once that happens, guys, the Wheel of Fortune is going to turn. Look here. That's karma. Okay? So, it's a waiting period, basically, for the Divine Masculine to find back his right spiritual strength, for him to move past the Five of Pentacles, to change the whole scenario in this twin flame connection with the Wheel of Fortune. That's your destiny. That's both your destiny, which was holding you in the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Okay? Where the joy, the beautiful fulfillment, the love, the wish, desire, everything that was kept on hold will start to move once the Five of Pentacles is off, getting out of that cold to move the Wheel of Fortune. That in turn is going to be moving the wish fulfillment card, which is the Ace of Swords. That is the clarity and the truth of this connection in here. But before all this happens, Temperance comes in the reverse, guys. Okay? Temperance tells me in the reverse that all this is in the waiting period. It's going to happen, but it's going to happen as things move, as things shift energetically, because for this man to find his balance, to do all these things, he needs the temperance. He needs that peace and stability within himself for that spiritual success and growth in his life, which in turn is going to contribute towards moving this relationship out of that spiritual poverty and into the new clarity and truth, because that is the truth. That is the truth of this destiny. That is the truth of the spiritual connection here. But it's a waiting period for that stability and the temperance to get back into shape, into for the divine masculine. Okay, so basically, this is how this January will start off. Moving up here, simply love, which is the Six of Cups in the reverse. To leave behind certain things in life, guys, that he needs to leave behind now. Okay, for him to do all this, he also will have to sacrifice certain things in his life that he has been holding on, which is leaving home, which is putting an end to the bad stuff, which is clearing his karma, which is clearing his karmic relationships, third party obligations. Whatever that is that he will have to sacrifice will have to go. The Three of Pentacles in the reverse shows up, which is what I told you right now. The end of the third party karmic situation. He will have to let that go in order for him to find back his own strength, which is the King of Pentacles showing up. Okay, which is telling me that in order for him to move past the barriers of his stability and temperance, he will have to let go things. He will have to let go of certain things which is not what he wants or what he desires, but which is still holding on to his, to him, just like, somebody clutches onto something. But he will have to let that go in order for him to find back his own grounding, his own stability, his own resources, his own confidence, his own nurturing self, which in turn he will be able to give back into this twin flame connection, which in turn will bring back his strength, guys. So once he can leave all that, once he can move past that barrier, he will be able to find back his strength, because he will be having that confidence in himself that is going to allow him move himself up the ladder and into the twin flame connection in the right way, not blocking him anymore. The Two of Swords in the reverse, finding peace within himself, and the Queen of Swords in the reverse, okay, which is technically the Three of Swords. So killing that pain, not getting blocked within himself, he will have to sacrifice that portion in his life, which is the end of that last chapter, which is where he will have to come into once he can kind of find his balance to move up the ladder. Okay, so he will have to clear his stuff, guys. He will have to clear his stuff. Moving into the place of love abounds, which is the Ace of Cups in reverse, where his emotions had dried up. To find back the right emotions, guys, okay, he will have to sacrifice that. To find back the right emotions, to get his strength back, to get his King of Coins back, not getting blocked anymore with his emotional contact not getting blocked with this divine inspiration of the Ace of Wand for the new beginning. It's a new beginning. So before the new beginning starts in his life, he will have to clear his karma, and he will have to find his way through to clearing his karma, because here everything is in the reverse, which is telling me that he will have to sacrifice those portion or that chapter of his life in order for the blessings to come to him, which is what the magic was in the reverse, where there was nothing there. There was nothing there. The Three of Pentacles in the reverse, the Six of Cups in the reverse, he will have to clear all that, because there was no magic there. There was nothing there. There was only bad stuff. Okay, there was only bad stuff. There was somebody who was manipulative, somebody who was not doing things right. So he will have to clear all that in order for him to move forward. The Knight of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Pentacles right here to start off with. We are showing up with the Knight of Pentacles again, taking his time to look at the landscape in order to make his choice, the Lovers. And this is a secret of the High Priestess. He will not be talking about it, guys. But this is where he is coming to slowly and surely as the days go by. Okay? Taking his time to make his choice. He will not be telling that, but he will be working for himself, because he will be able to see things in a very clear way, very clear perspective of what he now needs to do. Moving into the place, just breathe. So Spirit is telling him he will be able to do all this, but he needs to rest, rejuvenate, relax. If he is very stressed out, he will not be able to complete this mission well. It's a mission, okay? It's a mission for him now. So he will have to take his time, guys. He will have to take his time to breathe in, for all the changes in his life that is coming by for him. He will have to take his time to breathe in order for him to walk out of the chaos that is surrounding him. The Ace of Swords in the reverse. Okay, there is a lot of chaos, there is a lot of brutality, a lot of hard work, there is a lot of commotion. So he will have to take his time to breathe, to get out of that commotion, of that rejection, of that grief, the disappointment, the Five of Cups in the reverse. Coming out of that, okay, with the Ace of Swords, coming out of that, he will have to take his time, clear his self, bring about the change in his emotional self, getting out of that negative energy, getting out of that disappointment, the depression, the feeling of being lost with so much of commotion within himself. He will have to take his time to breathe, to relax, to come out of that. Page of Cups shows up in here again. Okay, Page of Cups here, Page of Cups. That's when his emotions will start to come out of his own self in the right order. Okay, he will be able to bring about that emotional maturity, that fulfillment of his emotions in the right way, once he is able to relax in order for him to heal, to rejuvenate the Star in the reverse from the Five of Cups in the reverse again. The Five of Cups and Five of Cups shows up in here twice, guys. Okay, so which is what the universe is telling him to do. My spirit is letting you people know that he will have to take his time to breathe, to relax, to work out his self from the commotions that had lasted in his zone, which is where he's coming out of slowly, to bring back the Page of Cups, the offer of emotional maturity within his own self, for him to rejuvenate, to heal, to have that hope, the faith, the desire that yes, he has the right to be happy again. Okay, So he's slowly moving in that direction, getting back his higher authority from all that stress and commotion that had been surrounding his life, crossing the bridge to reach his own gate of triumph. Coming to this place, spread your wings. Okay, so my spirit is telling him it's time after that he can slowly start to spread his wings, which is where he starts to cross the bridge. Okay, he'll be able to do that in order for him to clear his karma. The judgment card in the reverse here again. Okay, the judgment card in the reverse here, the judgment card in the reverse here. This is the time to clear his karma. This is the time to spread his wings. The Queen of Cups, being that psychic, being the visionary, to dream about the emotional goodness in his life that he can manifest. It's a feminine energy for sure, so it could be even you, divine feminine. Okay, which is where the spirit is letting him know it's time to change back his own self, to come close to you, to come close to that femininity part of the story, of that feminine emotion, which is what you are holding in that cup for this twin flame connection. Coming out of that Ace of Pentacle in the reverse, coming out of a bad situation, coming out of a bad planning, coming out of a certain thing that had ended in a wrong way. Okay, to bring back things in the right way. Once again, to come out of that bad phase, death, birth, death and rebirth, transformation of his own self, people, and then judgment in the reverse. So what it is basically universe is telling him now it's time for him to spread his wings. So as he goes along the journey of the first 15 days of the month of January of 2020, he has to change his karma. Judgment in the reverse is calling him to look at his own self in order to heal his emotions along with you, divine feminine, knowing that you are waiting for him with your cup of emotions, which is where he had done things wrong previously. Ace of Pentacle in the reverse. There was a bad planning with his emotional contact with you. There was something very wrong that had gone wrong previously. So that needs to be rectified with death and rebirth. Change, transformation, complete change of the story, which in turn is going to change the karma of this twin flame connection. Moving up in here, dreams coming true in the reverse, Nine of Cups in the reverse, okay, which is the wish fulfillment card. So once he can do this, things are going to shape back in the right way for him. His wish fulfillment, the things that you guys have been dreaming about, the things that you guys want in life, everything that karma will change. Everything that will change because once the balance returns, Chariot in the reverse. So once he is able to give himself the birth, the death and rebirth, the balance will return back, which will return back the Nine of Cups, bringing back the balance in the wish fulfillment. But that will happen once the cycle closes, the Ten of Swords. Okay? Once the cycle of pain, grief, sorrow, it's coming to an end. It's the 10. It's nearing the end of this. Okay? Once the cycle is completely closed, he will be able to free himself. The Nine of Pentacles, guys. He will be able to free himself, to nourish what he has in life for himself. But that will happen once the death and rebirth happens. That's going to change everything in this twin flame connection, as well as in the life of the divine masculine, where he will be able to bring back that same nourishment of the Nine of Pentacles, having everything that he wants in life, but making himself a singular number in the story from the bad emotional contact of the King of Cups in the reverse. Trying to nurture his emotion within himself, okay? Trying to bring back the good emotions of the King of Cups that had previously been lost somewhere in this journey. And the Hierophant shows up, which is the spiritual teacher in this entire story. And he is letting the divine masculine know that he's been here to teach everybody a lesson, including him, with regards to this emotion. So you have the Queen of Cups here, and you have the King of Cups in the reverse. So it's time for the divine masculine to bring back his emotions in the right way. That's going to balance back this twin flame connection, which is nearing the end of that bad phase of the Ten of Swords. And once that happens, the singular number of the divine masculine comes out from the shell after the death and rebirth of his own story. He comes out of the cocoon like a butterfly to change this entire story, bringing back his right emotional contact with the King of Cups, and which is what the spiritual commitment of this entire love story will start to happen once this change happens in here, people. Going into confront, okay? So Spirit is telling him it's also time for him to confront his own fears, to know what he wants in life exactly for himself, to know what he's looking for in his life at this point in time. As he's moving, as he's changing, he also needs to confront his own fears, his own fear psychosis, his own demons in life. He needs to tell himself that yes, this is what he wants. He exactly desires this and he will want it, which is what the Page of Cups in the reverse is for. Okay, confront his emotional maturity, guys. Confront his emotional maturity within himself. Okay, to know that he cannot afford to sit in a bad emotional state anymore. He will have to confront with his emotions to get out of that injury, the Nine of Wands, to fight this battle for himself, people. He will have to come to terms with his emotion, to get his strength, to get up and wake up, to live life in the right way, to be the warrior of as the divine masculine, to fight this battle, to get back the temperance, to get back that connection within his spirit, his soul, the emotions of the love that flows from one cup to the other, to balance the fire, earth, water, and air together in the right direction, in the right way, and the Six of Cups in the reverse for the reconciliation with the past life situation, to leave the bad stuff behind. The Page of Cups shows up once again. So the Page of Cups comes in twice in here with his confrontation, with his own spiritual self, people. Okay, so bringing back that emotional maturity, making that offer, knowing that he has fought a lot of battles. This would probably be the last battle in his life that he will be fighting with regards to his emotional maturity, bringing back that grounding, bringing back the temperance, bringing back that connection for the reconciliation with the past life situation in this twin flame connection, to leave other things behind in order for him to wake up and say, yes, it's time for me to make that offer, to be emotionally matured with regards to what I want in my life. Coming to the place of flow in the reverse, guys. Okay, which is the spirit, which is my spirit is telling me that he needs to change himself completely in order to receive the right vibration from the universe, in order for him to receive the right flow of his emotions, of his thought processes, of his feelings, of his sentiment in the right way. For the love to flow back in his heart, people. The Two of Cups. Okay, so you see how much of emotions are attached in this reading. It's a lot to do with his emotional contact at this point in time, which had completely drained him, which he had lost. So he needs to receive back that vibration for the Two of Cups, the exchange of love to happen, people, which is what he will have to juggle with in the right way. For the vibrations to flow back into his self, he will have to juggle with his emotions in the right way to heal the Eight of Cups in the reverse, to heal himself properly, to know, to know that he will have to balance his own emotions in the right way. Because without which, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, he has seen what has happened to him. And he knows that Nine of Cups in the reverse, the wish fulfillment card in here, guys, which the spiritual teacher is letting him know. The spiritual commitment will come back into his life. The dreams will materialize. The dreams will be fulfilled. Everything will happen because he has seen that what has happened without the right vibrations of his emotions. He had lost out completely on a beautiful love story that was already with him. So, for that exchange to happen, once again, he will have to bring back that contact. He will have to come in touch with his own way of juggling the emotions in the right way, to flow the emotions in himself in the right way, to heal from the past of whatever did not happen, because he has seen the result with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. He already knows about the story, the mistake that had happened for which the Nine of Cups had disappeared, the wish fulfillment had disappeared. It was not there with him because he had been unable to use his emotions in the right way, guys. Coming from there into this place where healing begins in the reverse, okay, he will have to start to heal himself. He will have to start to open his heart, which he will be doing. The healing will be very slow, but it will take time for him because he is going through a lot of movement at this point in time. For that, again, emotions, the King of Cups in the reverse. The King of Cups in the reverse here. It's all about that, guys. It's all about his emotional contact because, again, please remember, Divine Feminine, this message is for you. And I have said this before, that if he doesn't have the right emotional contact, he will not be able to make you happy. He will not be happy himself, and the twin flame connection will not prosper. Okay, so this is all about the time, the waiting period for his emotions to work in the right direction, which is where the victory lies for him. Okay, but not with his ego. There could have been a lot of ego for which he had lost his emotional contact, which was a part of his own deceit, guys. Okay, because he had driven people away. He had driven you away just because he wanted to be victorious in the wrong way. And he knows that. And this is where he needs to heal this connection in order for him to bring back the Empress, in order for him to give birth, but not with the ego. To be victorious, he will have to also know how far he can stretch his victory and heal from that bad emotional part of the story which had toppled you, Divine Feminine, as the Empress in the reverse. Not being able to give birth, which is where the Page of Swords comes to say, it's time for you to do exactly what you need to do. The Five of Pentacles in the reverse, to make that change in this connection. To get out of that spiritual poverty, you need to heal yourself. You need to heal yourself in the right way, with the King of Cups, bringing this person back, bringing back the divine masculine with complete emotional contact, with emotional intelligence, but not with the ego. Not with that ego which he had shown earlier, people, which was where the problem had been with him. Okay, it's okay to be victorious, as I said, but ego is not going to help him give birth to the story, not to you, divine feminine. So he will have to change. The page of sword is letting him know. You will have to change your ways, your patterns, your thought processes, getting out of the bad state in order to bring back the right emotional contact, which in turn is going to change this spiritual commitment of you together changing the entire story, making that sudden change in this beautiful twin flame connection, people. Moving into the place, moving into the place of giving and receiving, the Six of Pentacles, okay? So coming to the point of making sure that both you guys are on the same page. Reciprocity. Reciprocity of the Emperor. You have the Empress in the reverse, you have the Emperor in the reverse. So this twin flame connection needs to go into that place where both you people are sitting upright. None of you can be toppled over. So the give and take policy, the reciprocity, will happen once this change happens. That spiritual commitment takes place where the Knight of Wands shows up. So it tells me that the divine masculine is impulsive about bringing in this change, in this twin flame connection. But the Knight of Wands is a very impulsive energy. The sooner it enters, the faster it can exit. So it's a little dicey energy, guys. Okay, so you have to be careful that if he comes rushing forward with such an offer, you have to hold your fort and say, no, no, no. Let's look into it. Let's take our time, because he is wanting to bring back himself very quickly as the Emperor, which is okay. And also wants to get out of the box. The Three of Wands, people, okay? He wants to move out of that box. He wants to think big. He is, or he will be thinking big. He's looking and waiting for his ships to come into the horizon. The Page of Wands shows up to say that he is receiving the right message, that it's time for him to move out of the Five of Wands energy. The internal and the external battle, okay, that he had been playing in this twin flame connection. So giving and receiving, bringing back the reciprocity, bringing back this connection in the right way, bringing you back, divine feminine, in the right way, bringing himself back in the right way. With regards to this Knight of Wands, moving into that very quickly, energetically, with passion, but be very careful with this kind of an energy that is a little bit of a troublesome energy because it's very impulsive, but at the same point, the Three of Wands shows up, okay, which is telling me that he's also thinking big about it. Looking ahead, going ahead, moving ahead. With the Page of Wands, there is a lot of passion in this give and take, people. Lot of fire, getting out of that Five of Wands energy. Okay, so from emotions, things are moving into the fire energy. Look here. Getting out of that internal and external battles which he had been playing with this twin flame connection for a very long time. Moving into blossom, people. Okay, from reciprocity, moving into blossom. Blossoming, abundance, creativity, manifestation of the Four of Wands. Again, fire. The altar of love. There is a lot of fire here, guys. Towards the end, which is closer to the 15th, there will be a lot of fire energy. Okay, so the Four of Wands, bringing back the altar of love, knowing that it's time to set up a place, a security, a comfort zone, a place to feel good, a place to nourish yourself. That's the awakening, the tower in here. Okay, so the fire, the passion, from emotions, we are moving into fire and passion. So the fire and passion is recreating the awakening of the tower, telling the divine masculine that it's time for him to do that. It's an awakening to bring back the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, which is you, which also is his stability factor. Once that once that Four of Wand is stabilized, things are going to return back in the right way. And he knows that, you know that, it's an awakening with the Three of Cups, the reconciliation, and the Ten of Cups. Lot of water again with fire, people. Okay, so the reconciliation of the Ten of Cups, the family situation, the complete emotional fulfillment, because he had not been able to do that before, guys. Okay, so he's receiving the message to blossom in this connection, to bring back that beautiful connection in the right way with the Four of Wands in here, bringing it back in the beautiful way. That's the awakening that he's receiving from the universe, which is where the grounding happens, which is where he finds his stability with you. The King of Pentacles is here and the Queen of Pentacles is here. Yeah, look, the King of Pentacles was here and the Queen of Pentacles is here. So therefore, there is also a story between the Emperor and the Empress, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, guys. Okay, so that is where the grounding lies. That is where the emotions will start to flow. The reconciliation in this twin flame connection that is going to fulfill the chapter of the Ten of Cups. Total emotional fulfillment. That is what the blossoming part of the story is coming to. Heal in the reverse, okay, which is what needs to be healed, which is where he needs to heal the situation now, which is where the universe is pushing him. Close the last chapter, the Ten of Pentacles. That chapter is closed over the karmic situation, the third party relationship, everything that he had been holding. That needs to go. He needs to heal completely, bring back the Two of Cups, which is with you, Divine Feminine. Again, a lot of water emotions in here, water energy in here. From being, tired, injured, from being really fatigued, the Nine of Wands in the reverse, because of the pain, the grief, when you have the man holding the heart right there in his energy level, nurturing his heart because of the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. He has seen what has happened with him and in his life with regards to the last chapter of the Ten of Pentacles. So that needs to heal now. That chapter needs to heal. The Ten of Pentacles, the old chapter in his life, has shut the door to bring back the Two of Cups, which is that beautiful love story right from here, from blossoming that, nurturing that, bringing back from being injured, from being in a state of being injured because of the Three of Swords, which was the grief, the period of pain, the period of suffering, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, letting you know that he knows it all, he has seen it, and he is trying to stabilize this entire connection in the right way. Going towards manifest in the reverse, okay? That's the magic. That's the magic. The Knight of Swords, okay? So this magic now needs to happen. The Knight of Swords in the reverse, okay? So which is coming out of that state, coming out and rebuilding that entire story in the right way. So the Divine Masculine pauses. Now he's kind of, let me just pause for a moment because I'll have to rebuild the entire thing. I'll have to restart the entire connection. And he is very, very scared about it. He is in panic. Excuse me. The Nine of Swords. Again, he goes into the mental energy because he's pausing. Because now he knows that this is what the universe is pushing him to. And he's clinging on to his thought, his ideas. He's worried about his situation too. The Four of Pentacles in the reverse. and the Six of Cups. Okay, so he's worried about it. He's worried about whether he can bring back this connection, this past life connection, in the right way, which is all about innocence, bliss, completeness, fulfillment, joy, and happiness. Okay, so that old manifestation of whatever he had done, the old magic is about to disappear because the Knight of Swords is in the reverse. Nobody is moving forward towards it. The divine masculine is not moving forward. He is pausing. He is pausing. He is taking a moment to think about this situation now. Okay? He is taking a moment because he is anxious, he is worried, he has sleepless nights, and he's clinging on to his thoughts. He's trying to think about a strategy. He's trying to come to terms with his own self because he desperately wants to bring back the Six of Cups in his life. Okay, so from the bad thing, he's coming out to manifest the good part of the story. So towards the end of the first 2 weeks of the month, guys, he comes into the place of sacral chakra, which is the opening of the sacral chakra, okay, which is I want and I can. I actually can, The sacral chakra is basically, he had started off with the third eye chakra, which was closed. So with the sacral chakra, he is opening the entire story towards the 15th, or I would say kind of towards the middle of the month of January. So basically with the sacral chakra, he is opening up. He is telling himself, I want it on. So what does he want now? Okay, look at the way. What does he want now? He has seen. He's waiting for the divine timing. The Seven of Pentacles. He's just waiting for the divine timing with regards to all talk and no action. He knows about it, okay, that he had waited too long for this. And because of that waiting period, where there was only talk and no action, he had lost out on such a lot of things. Okay, so he's waiting for the divine timing to rectify this problem because he has seen what he has done. And now he's moving forward, the Knight of Swords. He's moving forward. Look at him. He's moving forward from here. If you look this way, he's moving forward to clear his energies very, very unemotionally because he's bringing back the magic in his life. The magic of the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Okay? He's holding everything in his foot because he is moving very quickly with the Ace of the Ace of Swords from the Magician. He's moving, look at this direction. He's moving very, very fast to clear all these energies within the first 2 weeks of the month of January for the Six of Wands, the fire, the flame, the passion of victory, the celebration, the joy, to feel good about the entire story that I wanted. I really wanted, So from where he was to where he is reaching, opening the gates of triumph, that is his victory, the Six of Wands, guys. Okay, he's crossing all those bridges. Look at him. He's crossing all the bridges to reach his gate of triumph. So the first 2 weeks, this is how he's traveling. He's moving, and he's moving swiftly with regards to the magic, with regards to the Magician and the Ace of Swords, to clear himself from all the difficulties that had been holding him back for a very long time, because now he desperately wants to bring in the magic in his life, in the twin flame connection, in this beautiful journey of love. So he's taking his time the first 2 weeks of the month of January, guys. But he's coming to the place of his own self-recognition, of his higher authority. Because for too long he had been too busy, too caught up with a lot of things. Now he doesn't want to do that. He's putting time and effort in his own self, bringing back the situation for his own. First, he's fighting with his emotions. And the second part of the story is where his passion is on the rise, mixed with his emotions in the right way. I'm going to take a Mystic Moon card in here just for the end of this reading. It's been a long reading, ladies and gentlemen, ladies especially, but I love you guys and I wanted to do a thorough check as we start the next year of 2020. You know, he actually is going to be doing a lot of work in the first 2 weeks of the month of January, people. So yeah, so it is completely on him now to work in the right direction because universe is pushing him in the right way. Muse, yeah, look, he's painting his own canvas now. He's painting his own canvas because he's doing a lot of shadow work at this point in time. So the first 2 weeks of the month of January, he's going to be painting his own canvas, doing his shadow work to clear himself because he knows that time is a limitation for him. And last time, you know, when there was only kind of all, what is the word I'm looking for? It's all words and no action kind of a situation. He had seen what had happened. So now he's taking his time. He's going to be pushing himself in the right way, doing a lot of shadow work, awakening from where he was to admire his own story, people. Okay, where he was bound, look here, where he was bound in the third party situation, to clear that he is ascending from that, he's rising, that is the initiation of the spirit world in here, people, ascending to that place of higher authority, leaving that place of loneliness, okay, recognizing this twin flame connection in the right way with the new direction and all signs which is pointing towards this new direction, towards the return of this divine masculine and the twin flame connection in the right way. Hope you enjoy this reading, ladies and gentlemen, ladies especially. Until then, enjoy your new year and lots of love to you. Goodbye, Khuda Hafiz, God bless, and Namaste.